Welcome back to Movie Vault, where we break down the latest and greatest in film and TV with deep dive recaps. And today, we're taking a look at Squid Game The Challenge Season 2, a season filled with high stakes, brutal betrayals, and mind blowing twists that push the concept of the games even further than before. Buckle up, because we're going all in. The setup, Keegan's downfall, and the hunt for the recruiter. The season kicks off with Keegan, the former winner of the Squid Games, who, despite surviving the nightmare, hasn't exactly turned his life around. 2 years have passed, and while he won the games, he's still a deadbeat father, avoiding any real connection with his daughter. His life takes a dark turn when he discovers a hidden tracker embedded inside his ear. Who put it there? What does it mean? That's just the first mystery. Meanwhile, Detective Jun Ho, the cop who infiltrated the games last season, is barely scraping by. He's been demoted to parking duty after spending the last 2 years trying and failing to convince his superiors that the Squid Games are real. With no hard evidence and no allies, he's been chasing a ghost until he gets a break. At the same time, Gi-hun, our returning protagonist, has been obsessively hunting down the recruiter responsible for the games. He's been using his prize money not for a luxurious life, but for revenge, tracking every lead, working with a loan shark he once owed money to, and forming a crew to bring down the organization behind the games. And then, boom, he finally gets a lead. His guys track the recruiter to a subway station where he's up to his usual tricks, playing a harmless game with desperate strangers, promising them a way out of their financial ruin. But this time, Gi-hun is waiting for him. The Russian Roulette Showdown. What happens next is one of the most nerve-wracking moments in the entire series. Gi-hun corners the recruiter, but instead of running or fighting, the recruiter pulls out a revolver and suggests a game of Russian roulette. Gi-hun watches in horror as the recruiter casually places the gun to his temple and pulls the trigger. Click. Empty chamber. Then he hands the gun to one of Gi-hun's men, a loan shark, and tells him to play. The guy hesitates, sweating bullets, but he knows backing out is worse. He pulls the trigger. Another empty chamber. It goes back and forth, each person pulling the trigger until the stakes become unbearable. When it's Gi-hun's turn, the recruiter taunts him mercilessly. Pull the trigger, or admit you're nothing but a dog serving a master you'll never beat. With no choice, Gi-hun finally pulls the trigger. Click. Still alive. But just as he's about to lose his nerve, the recruiter vanishes into the night, leaving behind nothing but a single ominous invitation to a Halloween party. Gi-hun, now furious and more determined than ever, takes the invitation and follows the clues. Meanwhile, Detective Jun Ho, who's been following Gi-hun's movements, tracks his location and realizes he's heading straight back into the Squid Games. And here's the twist. Jun Ho isn't the only one infiltrating the games. Another player, Nova, secretly works as one of the guards, but we don't know her true motives yet. New players, new games, same deadly rules. With 456 new contestants, the games kick off once again, and the first challenge? Absolute chaos. Thinks he's got the whole system figured out. Turns out, he's just another pawn. Pregnant lady, a heavily pregnant woman, somehow ends up in the games, causing immediate panic. Drug addicts, a group of unhinged contestants who cause havoc and try to game the system. Just like Sebyuk from Season 1, but with a tragic backstory of her own. And of course, Gi-hun and Junho are trapped right in the middle. The first game, red light, green light, with a twist. This time, if you get caught moving, instead of an instant kill, players have 30 seconds to convince another contestant to take their place in death. Sheer panic erupts. People start begging, bribing, threatening, and even shoving others into harm's way. Crypto scammer guy betrays his own friend, pushing him forward to take the shot. Pregnant lady somehow survives. Gi-hun realizes how brutal this new version of the game truly is. By the end of round 1, over 100 contestants are dead. Game 2, the 5 trials. The second game isn't Dalgona candy like before. Instead, players are split into teams of 5 and must complete 5 traditional Korean children's games under extreme pressure. A group of elderly players immediately struggle, unable to complete the first task. A young girl watches as her father gets eliminated in front of her, left completely alone. Gi-hun's group barely scrapes by, thanks to his quick thinking. And here's the kicker. One team who failed to complete a game is clearly still alive. Instead of being executed, their bodies are quietly removed. But why? The truth about the guards. Meanwhile, Junho uncovers something massive. Some of the eliminated contestants aren't being killed at all. They're being taken somewhere else. He follows a group of masked guards and discovers a horrifying secret. Certain players are being harvested for their organs and sold on the black market. And even worse, Nova, the undercover guard, knows exactly what's happening, but isn't stopping it. The mid-season massacre. Just like last season, the game descends into an all-out war when the lights go out. The pregnant woman is cornered by desperate players, but fights back viciously. A secret alliance forms as weaker contestants band together to survive. Junho and Nova cross paths, with Junho realizing she isn't just any guard. She's been planning something all along. And then, boom, the big betrayal. Gi-hun's closest ally, someone he actually trusts, turns on him, stabbing him in the back, literally and metaphorically. Just when it seems like Gi-hun is finished, he's saved by an unexpected ally, Nova, the undercover guard. The season ends on a massive cliffhanger. Gi-hun is back in the games, but now he's playing for something bigger than money. Junho finally confronts the frontman, but things don't go as planned. The mystery of the missing contestants deepens. And then, the final shot. A brand new doll is introduced, even more terrifying than the original. Final thoughts. Season 2 took everything from Season 1 and turned it up to 11. More brutal games, more twists, more betrayals. What did you think? Drop a comment below. And as always, thanks for watching Movie Vault.